Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a Marvel Legends review and we'll be having a look at the Legendary Rider series. And we'll start off by my favourite Iron Man figure, the Hulkbuster Iron Man. So do you want to talk us through this one, Matt?
On the we were looking at the Juggernaut figure earlier from a different series. However, this is probably the second biggest singular unit in terms of the figures, with Juggernaut being the largest. He's got it's quite nice, I think. I think he's good. I quite like this design of Hulkbuster Iron Man. A bit pointless in the comics because they all get destroyed pretty much by the Hulk. But obviously they've been used for other stuff as well.
He doesn't bust too many Hulks with this, does he?
No. It's more like busted by the Hulk Iron Man. And then he's got the glider. You can't really see it, but obviously in the Rider series they all have like something that they ride on. If you can see, he's got like a giant golden glider thing there. It's quite snazzy. Looks pretty good. You can mount him on.
It's a decent figure, that one. A decent size.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. This is obviously referring to it as Stark's armor, but I think they were remote controlled or sold on to the military or something, weren't they? Very good.
Cool. Who we got next?
Another Wolverine. But this is obviously Logan on his motorbike, dressed like some sort of hick.
So I think this is meant to be like a slightly older Wolverine.
I think this is also referencing the movie as well.
Well, this the comic.
Well, the comic, but yeah, I think
the past, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the popularity of the idea of him being on this motorbike and like that was for the mainstream from the movie, wasn't it? So, which is quite good. I mean, we've got a variant as well, which I actually prefer this one.
So this one, he's definitely older because he's got grey hair.
Yeah.
And, it's a completely different facial mould. He looks a bit fatter, if I'm honest.
Fat? I wouldn't call him fat, really.
Not to his face, anyway.
He's got his same motorbike, but rusty version of it. I don't know whether it's supposed to be the same jacket, which is dirty and the leather's faded or something. But it's cool, and he's wearing gloves as well. So, yeah. Quite like that, all in all. That's not a bad little figure. Let's do this one first. Wonder Man.
Wonder Man!
Yeah. Long lost brother to Wonder Woman. They don't have the same surname though, which is a bit odd. Half brother.
So, certainly one of the more powerful Avengers, but kind of hasn't had any movie love so far.
It's a cool character as well.
Yeah, and there's a variant of him, I believe, somewhere, isn't there?
Phasing. Yeah, I don't know. Is it this series? Yes, here we go. Yeah, this is him.
It's Ionic. I think they call it Ionic phase.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
You've also got a little yellow jacket figure as well that goes with that. And as with all the Rider series, obviously he comes with a hover cycle or something. Yeah. Which I don't know why he did, because I'm sure he could fly, but...
Yeah.
There you go.
Probably like some sort of Avengers-esque thing going on there. So it kind of looks a bit like Tony Stark may have built it. There's something a bit Iron Man-y. Oh, maybe not. Could be wrong. Somebody out there will know exactly what that's all about, though. And they can tell us. This guy's kind of cool.
Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Apparently he's going to be in the new Shield series, I've heard. So, loads of accessories with him. I mean, obviously Taskmaster is a character that can kind of copy other people's bits. So he's obviously got the shield. He's got swords from obviously people that he's copied. Again, some kind of flying machine.
Yeah.
Right, who we got next?
Let's go with this. This makes me laugh whenever I look at this figure. It looks like
Miserable thing.
Yeah, from the Black Lagoon. If you painted him green, it'd look like some sort of like sea monster.
Yes, I mean, I'm guessing it's meant to be a bit more of a retro thing.
Yeah, I mean the roundness, or I don't know, maybe it was. I mean, was it a thing?
Well, you've got the
film?
comic on the background is obviously they've got a reprint of the first issue of Fantastic Four, so I'm guessing he's meant to be more of a kind of like original version. But it isn't the best figure.
No, I mean I really like the thing in his modern sort of style with his floating eyebrows, bricks for eyebrows. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, he's got like a Fantastic Sevens, like hover bike thing.
You've got good hands, I suppose, but I quite like his hands.
Yeah, they're quite. With a lot of the bigger hands, they like to make as many of the fingers posable, or put in variants with and without posable fingers. So.
This is Vengeance, who is obviously a Ghost Rider sort of adversary, and basically a very similar character to Ghost Rider, but he's really he's kind of just a bad version of Ghost Rider. Well, not exactly a bad guy, but very much the same. But just kind of more so. He's obviously got bigger spikes and bigger teeth and everything like that.
Bigger ribs. You need your ribs sticking out like that, don't you?
You do. It's always handy. Especially with some barbecue sauce.
And also, a trip to the dentist wouldn't go amiss with it. I mean, could you imagine having a conversation with this guy? We're like, what's that? What's that, Vengeance?
Yes, he's a pretty. He reminds me of like a Todd McFarlane type thing of one of his creators. It isn't, but it looks like it should have been almost. It's kind of almost like this very much overdone. Everything is like really overdone. And like, Ghost Rider is one of my favourite characters, but I was never a huge fan of Vengeance because to me it was just a bit too much. When you know what I mean, too much of a good thing is not necessarily.
Yeah. The new up and coming Avengers villain, from what I gather.
Indeed. No, I have to say I don't like this figure. Do you like it?
Yeah, I don't mind. I always felt that Ultron anyway looked like a cheap like toy rip-off anyway. Just the designs of Ultron are a bit.
But he just, I don't know. This to me isn't a classic Ultron, and there's, as far as I know, there hasn't been another one. And I don't know. The shape of him is very. He's got tiny little waist, and he's kind of. I don't know. To me, it just isn't a particularly. It's not the iconic version of Ultron, and that's what I would like to have seen first. I mean, then maybe have like the kind of variants have come out a bit later on, but he's just very odd proportions, like a massive chest, tiny waist, big thick neck.
Yeah, it's just going for that typical like over-muscled, intimidating look, isn't it? Yeah, I don't mind him. I mean, he's okay. I mean, like I said,
I guess it makes him look less human, I would say. But I would have preferred they had done more of the traditional Ultron first, and then maybe moved on to, this kind of version. In my own opinion.
Yeah. I mean, interestingly, for like the Ultron figures, always in my mind reminds me a little bit of like kind of like an overdone where you take like a relatively meek character and then just develop it and build it up and then suddenly created this kind of huge legend out of a character in the comics, and that smacks of very much like a Dragon Ball Z kind of like what they did with a couple of their characters, specifically androids that they had running around and things like that.
Let's have a quick look at the back. So that to me is classic Ultron.
Yes.
Anyway, what have we got next?
Right. and I love her very much so. This was actually pulled by Toy Biz because the quality standard of it was so poor that they pulled it, and then I believe they re-released it. But you can see she's got like
This is a terrible figure.
She's had a dirty Sanchez or whatever it is. Some of these like whips and brown stuff. Of course, her face there, and
she's emaciated for one thing.
Yeah, it's just generally a crap figure. And I spent a long time trying to get hold of this because as soon as everyone realised that that Toy Biz were going to pull the figure, then the few ones that are out there got pulled straight away. So thus the legend came.
The Legend of the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, the Legend of the Scarlet Witch. So it was literally like collectors like myself went out to market and eventually you could get hold of one of these like just horrendously poor quality figures. So with the dirty Sanchez.
And that concludes the Legendary Riders series. So what is your favourite figure from this collection? Leave us a comment and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.